So what you're looking at here is called Bangkok Skywalk. Yeah, that's what it is. Bangkok Skywalk. If you've ever been to New York and the west side, they use some old railroad tracks that went from around 34th Street, West 34th Street, Hudson Yards, to the meatpacking district, which is around Greenwich Village area or Chelsea down there. And they put like plants, trees. So it's like an oasis, like how you have an oasis in a desert where there was nothing, instead of the old train tracks going nowhere. They came up with this idea for the Highland. See that gimbal is acting up on me. It's like pulling around. I don't know. Maybe he's picking up radio signals or something. It's pulling one way and pulling the other way. So the lady there in front, right? The lady there, she that's Pla in the olive dress, olive. I said in like some previous videos, when we were in M Quartier, that I know her for a long time. So let's see. This is EmSphere. So yeah, so it's like the Highland in New York. In the Highland, it's elevated. You don't have to walk in the street. You just keep, out of the traffic. Yeah, so this is EmSphere. Are we going in there? This was back in January the 5th. So that's over a month ago. Today's now the 11th of February 2024. Yeah. She got somebody to take our picture. Huh. Oh, that's nice. Wow. So there we are, walking in there. I'm glad they have all these escalators now. I remember when I first went to Thailand, like Bangkok, and you board the BTS, you had to walk up those steps. Oh my God. But back then I was younger, 20 years younger. But now they have escalators and even elevators too. So that's very helpful. Yeah, so we went into this building here. I mentioned the name of the building beforehand. Looks spacious and roomy in there, and you got more like trees and so forth. I think anytime you have an atmosphere where you have like green plants, those will attract people to come visit and to shop. So she obviously likes taking pictures, right? Look at that. Lots of green there, green plants. All on the other side. You see where people walking outside on the Bangkok Skywalk. It's on the outside of the building. And It was hot that day too. I think it I think it went up to maybe like 92, 93. Hmm. So being in an air conditioned environment, it's really worth it. Look at these different lights here streaming down. So I'm kind of wondering, with so many malls, you know, you got like Siam Paragon, and the other one right next to it, the Siam Center. And you got the Emporium, the Quartier. You got Terminal 21. You got Central World. You got like a lot of places. You know, I think they got more malls, yeah, than we have here in New York City. When you think about it, I remember there was the Manhattan Mall. I don't know if that's still there, Manhattan Malls. But just yesterday, I think in the news, I saw an article, not an article, a video, news story, and they were talking about empty malls, like ghost towns, and they were showing like a lot of businesses left. And one of the reasons they gave for that is that a lot of people shop online. Yeah, you shop online. I think it was on YouTube. So if you could shop online and it's convenient, then why go to the mall? I remember the malls from years ago here in New York. People, you go there and it's like a place you hang out, you meet other people, you meet people you talk to. In those days they had the Citizens Band radio, or the CB radio, and you get on and you talk, and you know, you didn't know these people. You talk to them, you could become friends or what have you. They want to meet you. And one of the places they met was like in a mall down here by me. There was the Albert Square Mall, and people would go over there, hang out, meet each other, and so forth. But those radios were short range, you know. You can only talk so far, so you were limited in who you can meet, except when they had the so-called skip conditions, and you could talk like in other parts of the world. So that was an exciting thing, but that only happened, I think, like maybe every 7 years or so. You get good skip, so that wasn't reliable. And then comes the internet. Now the internet changed everything, because with the internet, you know, you were no longer limited to locals, like knowing, like, you know, local people and so forth. So there it is right there. M Lifestyle. This is the EmSphere. That's where we are in that building right there now. EmSphere. 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 Yeah, so you're not limited anymore, you know, like this Citizens Band radio where you have a signal, and if you were on the first floor like me, I would put mine up on the roof to get out, so then you can talk a little further away. But with the internet, you can communicate with people around the world. So that changed the whole concept of communication and meeting people. So like this lady here, I met her, I think it was in one of the Yahoo, when Yahoo used to have the chat rooms. That's how I met her. If it were not for the internet, I would have never met her. You see, so she is like halfway around the world from me. You know, if it was the CB radio like in the old days with Citizen Band, I would have never been able to meet her. So the internet really changed everything, and it's good to know that you could go to a different country, a different part of the world, and somebody could be there that you know in person, not like you're trying to get to know somebody, which is time consuming, and you know, it's not that easy to build trust anymore with the all the stuff and the shenanigans that happen in the world. People don't want to take time out. I was speaking to somebody I met too, and you know, years ago in Bangkok, but she's presently in the U.S. in Virginia, and she was telling me, you know, she said, I don't have time like you anymore. I don't want to invest time to meet people anymore. You know, it's like that was then, like to get to know people, but she said, I just can't do it. I guess when she was younger, she could take time and do it, but as she gets older and she got married too, that's not for her. You know, whoever she knows already, and that's it. No broadening out to meet more people, to know more people. Those days are gone. But before it was different. You know, when she was younger and she was in the chat room and said hello. Nope, those days are not coming back. You see. But then again, that was on the internet, you know, in the Yahoo chat room. Yep, in the Yahoo chat room, not like on a CB radio where you talking and you don't know somebody and you decide to meet them in a mall. So here in America, they said malls are dying because people are shopping online. But you look at Thailand here, and you look at the mall here. We went to M Quartier. Then there was the Emporium. We didn't get to do the Emporium because the battery died. And this is EmSphere. EmSphere. Whole completely different building, and you're seeing like a lot of expensive cars right there. Millennium Auto, it says. Look at that. Look at that red car. Speaking of auto, I got an email today with a 15% discount to go to the auto show. The auto show is coming to New York City soon. Comes like in the spring around April. So I went there a couple of years ago. I think it was 2022. Yeah, 22. I went there, and there was a lady from Thailand. She was visiting. She and her husband. And I took her there. If you search for New York Auto Show on my channel, you'll find some videos. And she featured in there. I had her like sit in some of the cars, try out the car, sit. She get to sit in a lot of different cars. Maybe the most cars she ever sit in her life. And she got a driver's license too. She was gonna come meet me when I went to Bangkok recently, but she works in the place where she's from, which is Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya was, if I may use the word, like the ancient or maybe a former capital of Thailand. if you ever heard of the Ayutthaya Kingdom. That's where she's from. You know, most time you meet Thai people. They're from like up in the northeast, like Isan and so forth, or maybe Chiang Mai, or probably the south. But no, she's from Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya isn't that far from Bangkok, but it takes a little while to get up there. I went up there and visited some years ago. Yeah, so that's where she's from. And like I said before, Ayutthaya, they were the ones at that time. Their kingdom had challenged, the Cambodian Empire, the Khmer Rouge. Khmer Rouge were like one of the most powerful, or probably the most powerful empire in Southeast Asia at the time. And they were able, the Ayutthaya kingdom was able to crush them. Yeah. So that's some interesting history. And I didn't know all this because when I went on a tour in 2017, the tour guide was telling us this, that the Ayutthaya kingdom crushed the Khmer Rouge. And at that time, Thailand didn't have any king, It was like split up into different parts, and then eventually they came together to form Siam. And Siam was the name used for Thailand. I think up until maybe 1933. That's when they changed the name to Thailand. Yeah. All right, so this is the EmSphere, that building. You see all the expensive cars there? If you have a lot of money and you want to go to Thailand and buy an expensive car, you go to EmSphere. I wonder how much business they do every week, because the average person doesn't have the kind of money to go shop at EmSphere. So you take care. Maybe there's another video.